Hello everyone, and welcome to the second Idiotic Show Direct. Today I will be giving information about the Minecraft server directly to you. Now I know a lot of you have been very excited and waiting a long time to hear about this new minigame, so you've definitely waited long enough to hear about all this. You remember I may have posted a little beta thing on Minecraft Bedrock, but that's separate. The game is still kind of the same, but you need to know how it actually works and what I've, done with it. So that's what I'll be telling you all today. So thank you for waiting patiently about it, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so what exactly is Devil Push? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you that's not the real name. The real name... no, I'll tell you at the end. Basically, it's a 5-on-5 multiplayer game. You must work with your team to push your minecart to the goal, while also stopping the enemy minecart from pushing, or stopping the enemy team from pushing their minecart to the goal. So basically, it's kind of like a race, and it involves a lot of multitasking, attacking, defending at the same time, and switching back and forth, playing mid, a lot of that cool stuff. Now let's talk about how the game actually works. Okay, so yeah, you have to work with your team. Along the way, it's not one big thing, obviously. There are checkpoints. Quite a few of them. First, there are the regular checkpoints. They are marked in iron. When you get to them, you're simply just allowed to place the minecart from there again. There's nothing special about them. You can't roll them back behind a previous checkpoint, and once you place the minecart in the track, it deletes any one currently on there, so keep that in mind. And you cannot place from a previous checkpoint. And then there are the key checkpoints that are marked in gold. These are the important ones. They influence the score of the game. You need to get those to really win. There's also one at the end on most maps that kind of counts the key checkpoint, but it's the goal. But you'll see how that works later. So consider the end to be kind of like a key checkpoint. Now, there are going to be two main modes. I'm not going to talk about the other one until later on, but the first one, the casual mode, it might be a little bit of a hint, but let's not say anything yet. The casual mode, basically it's going to be 4-minute rounds. I might change it depending on the map too, but generally going to be about 4, maybe 5-minute rounds. Both teams go at the same time. Or actually, you get 30 minutes before it starts to go position yourself in the map. You'll be invisible, only your teammates can see you. You don't have any items or anything, you have nothing. You put 30 seconds, go position yourselves, and there you go. And then the minecarts become available to place, and the round starts. Then, you have to push it to the goal, while also stopping the enemy from pushing theirs to the goal, as you probably already know already. So yeah, 4-minute rounds. If you can push it to the end first, you win the round. Instantly. Game over. And then it's best 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 5, depending on how quick it is, but it'll be generally about 2 out of 3. So do it twice to win. But, if the 4 minutes runs up, it will then... depending on how many key checkpoints each team earned. So if one team earned 2 key checkpoints, the other team earned 1 key checkpoint, you win the round. But if it's tied, remember, regular iron checkpoints do not count for this. Only golden checkpoints count. So it doesn't matter if you pushed it to almost the key checkpoint and they didn't even get it started to put it on the track. It doesn't matter. 0-0. A 1-minute overtime begins. Now, all you have to do in this 1-minute overtime is capture a single key checkpoint, or the next one to make the score, let's say, 2-3. Or 3-2, sorry. And then you win that round. But, in that 1-minute overtime, if neither team can do it, again, the game is designed to not last forever. At least at the start, anyway, in round 1 and 2. Then the game is considered a draw, and both teams earn a single point off it. So they both get the victory. And that's important to know. So, but if it's round 3, the overtime goes forever until a key checkpoint is earned, and only if it's previously been 1-1. And that's how that works. Okay, let's talk about what happens when you die, because, you're gonna get killed a lot in the game unless you're really good. Which, maybe, I don't know. But when you die, you'll be brought to a small little room, you'll be trapped, you can't move, don't try anything. You actually can't do anything. It'll be an adventure anyway, and you don't have kits. Oh, but basically, you have to wait about 7 seconds, and then you're brought to a room with 4 pressure plates. You go, do not look around in this room. You go either forward, backwards, left, or right. The WASD keys each have a kind of meaning, and I'll talk more about those once we actually start the game. I'm not going to really say those here because it would kind of just be too confusing. So, you go to WASD or press one of them. Don't look around or anything, or else don't mess it up. Just move and pick a pressure plate. Then you'll be brought to a room where you choose exactly where you start. There are 4 areas around each one, so 16 total. I mean, this number of spawn points depends on the map, actually. But each of them will have 4 locations around it, so you can go forward, backwards, left to right. It'll be A, B, C, D, nothing significant about it. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, left, right. There's no distinct pattern, but you'll eventually start to memorize maybe where each of the spawns are and which are the good ones. It's kind of designed to prevent spawn camping, so like if you like gotta go punching at someone where you know they're going to be, but they might actually be on this another point at that spawn behind. It's made to prevent spawn camping in a way, but it's not going to be perfect. But it's the best I can honestly do. Maybe I'll have a random system later, but for now, that's how it's going to be. Okay, now let's talk about the maps. Some of the maps will be mirrored exactly, or copied, not mirrored, but copied exactly. So it's like they take one side of the map, flip it, that's also the other half of the map, exactly the same thing. If you played Splatoon, you'll know exactly what I mean. Every map is the same on both sides. With one exception, which is actually going to be the next kind of map, which I forgot the Splatoon name of it, but for this game, obviously, this isn't Splatoon, this is Minecraft. They'll be mirrored basically like actual mirrored, so like you take one side and then you flip it and that's the other side. Kind of like that. Yeah, you flip it, that's the other side. So you both start at the bottom and then you like work your way up to the top or something. Not like vertically, but like, you know what I mean. And you'll have spawn points on those maps that usually unlock later as the game goes on. So usually you get to one key checkpoint, you unlock the spawn, but it's kind of weird and it'll make sense later. And you would kind of unlock it for both teams too, so it's not like unbalanced. And you'll see how it works later exactly, but it's that's a general overview of how it's going to be. And then there's the third kind of map, which are like squares. They'll be called square maps. They won't actually be square. They might be square, I don't know, but they'll be like maybe rectangles, maybe even not hexagons or anything, but they'll be like generally about squares. They'll mostly have 4 key checkpoints, or at least you start at one end and the goal is right there, but you have to go all the way around the map, and the enemy team might be going either counterclockwise or the direction, or maybe in some maps it'll be the same but starting at the opposite side. Like, it'll be really weird. But you'll get the hang of that map eventually, or maps. And you'll see how those go. Spawn points, you can usually spawn at all 4 sides, whatever you need to do to get the advantage. And the 4 sections will generally be about the same, so you're not like having any sort of edge for being like the first half easy, second half hard, and then the other team is second half hard. You'll see what I mean. And yeah, those are how the maps will work. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, the kits. Obviously, you don't all have the same stuff. That would be kind of, boring. So, there are 5 players on a team, of course, and there are 5 kits available, and there will only be the 5 kits available. Maybe I'll change them later or make them a little bit, or buffs, and obviously there are going to be buffs, and they're not going to keep everything the same. Maybe something in beta will be super broken or whatever. We'll change stuff. But for now, I'll just focus on what you're going to be playing with eventually. Or what I think you're going to be playing with. Okay, so remember that both teams will have this, so don't think you'll be able to like get at a competitive edge over having like pick the best kits. No, yeah, 5 players. You can maybe pick the kits later in certain modes, but it'll be kind of like random for now. You'll see. The first kit is Tank. You have a stone sword for medium damage, and you also have double hit points, or 20 hearts instead of 10. Yeah, you have 2 rows of hearts, not just 1. So yeah, you take double damage. Sorry, you have double health. Technically you don't take half the damage, you take the same amount of damage. But the thing is, you also move slower. You have a permanent slowness on you that it happens every death, don't worry. Or respawn. It's not like you can get evaded or anything, there's no way. Unless there's a glitch or something. And basically, yeah, so you can move slower, but you may like take the hits for the team, maybe be with the minecart, whatever you need to do. Maybe be offensive, maybe. Do what you need to do. And you also have a resistance potion, which you can throw at yourself or a teammate or both, or not at the enemy, because, well, technically the enemy can absorb it, but please try to avoid it from throwing at the enemies. If you aim it perfectly, it'll be 5 seconds of resistance. With resistance is 2. So yeah, you'll take less hits. But when you throw it, it has a cooldown of 13 seconds when you cannot throw it again, so beware of that. The second kit is Brawler. If you play Minecraft PvP often, you'll probably be the most familiar with this kit. Basically, you have a diamond sword, you do a lot of damage. And by the way, I should mention, Tank is the only one who has extra health at all, so no one else has extra health of any kind besides, the other tank, of course, and yours. But yeah, everyone else from this point on only has 10 hearts. And you have a special ability, though. You can throw a potion. The potion does not do anything, I should mention, so feel free to just throw it anywhere you want. It doesn't do anything. All it does is gives an effect on you with a command block, so the potion itself does nothing, so don't even worry about aiming it or anything. It'll make your armor completely black, or at least a chest plate and leggings black, for about 2 seconds. And you'll be blinded, but you'll be completely, well, you can still be knocked back, but you won't take any damage. So, use it to escape danger. You can still hit if you want, but you kind of really won't see your enemies. I mean, you kind of can, because blindness has a little bit of short range. Or, it's not, infinitely, in your eye or whatever. You know what I mean? But you gotta be careful with using that, because there's a 9-second cooldown, so you can't constantly be on that, or else it'll be broken. Although I will consider increasing it later, though. But I think 9 seconds is a good amount of time. So 2 seconds on, 7 seconds off. But remember, you don't always want to do that because you don't want to use it randomly. You only want to use it to maybe get out of danger or to attack, but with your 2 seconds of it, but you can't see. Use it how you think you should use it. The third kit is the Sniper Kit. You're the only one, well, on your team. The other sniper has it too, of course, because it's the same kit. Well, you're the only one with a bow. So, you have to use that to your advantage. Find the enemy sniper, take him down, maybe take down some others, get the high ground, do whatever you need to sniper stuff do. Of course, you also have something else. You have a wooden axe with you in case you need it for emergencies. You're not completely unfight, or you don't have a complete disadvantage if you're forced to go melee attacks against someone who's stuck up on you, which they should be doing anyway, so expect it. You also have, this is on a 25-second cooldown, so it's very long, but it's very useful. If you aim it just right, it's a splash potion. Aim it just right, it'll last for 5 seconds. It's actually a glowing potion, so make sure to only hit enemies with it. It will actually reveal their position to everyone. They'll be their bodies will all be glowing blue or red. Of course, it'll depend on, so if you're on the blue team, they'll be glowing all red, and blue is against red. Of course, yeah, you already know that, but yeah, you'll see them in their enemy color, and you can go attack them. It doesn't do anything to them besides make them visible, so you can just see where they are. So, but then again, that's on 25-second cooldowns. You gotta use it very wisely. Don't throw it randomly unless you think someone might be there, but that's a very risky idea. So, use it wisely. I should probably say that for every ability. Just use every ability wisely. Now, the Trickster. The Trickster is probably going to be the hardest kit in the game to use. I was originally going to, here's a funny story, I was originally going to give them Ender Pearls, but then I realized that people could just, throw it out of the map, and oh, whoopee, I'm free from the game, and then team comes yells from me. I just thought Ender Pearls would actually be really bad. So I decided to give it invisibility instead. You only have a wooden sword, so you're low damage, but you can sneak up on people. So you have an invisibility potion, you have to drink it, so that, remember, you can't, it's not like the Brawler's, complete invincibility potion. It's an invisibility potion. You have to drink it yourself, and yes, it is tied to the potion. It's not like a command block or anything. It's tied to the potion. So basically, yeah, you just drink it, and you'll be invisible for exactly 8 seconds. Your armor will be removed, so don't worry. You won't be it's not. I've thought of that in advance already. It's not going to be any worry. Your team can still see you, of course, because you're on the same team. You'll just be kind of trying to semi-transparent. They'll know where you are. But of course the enemies won't. You have 8 seconds to get in there. You can't cancel it. I'm working on a way to try to cancel it, but I haven't figured out a way to cancel it yet. So you're just gonna have to, if you go invisible, you can't go back. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to anyway. But basically, there's an 18-second cooldown from when you drink the potion. So when you drink it, you can't use invisibility for 10 seconds after that. So you have to wait about 10 seconds. I am considering increasing it though, but we'll just see how it goes. You also have a speed potion, which you can throw at teammates, and you don't need it because you already have the exact same effect that that speed potion has. It aims perfectly, goes for 5 seconds like most potions do. And you can run really fast because you always have permanent speed like the tank, but the opposite of the tank because it's speed. Use that to your advantage. And the fifth and final kit, which is the one that relies or the people are going to rely on you the most, and maybe also the tank. Probably the tank and support are the most important players on the team, and the brawler too. Well, everyone's important, of course. But for supporting the team, it's probably going to be mostly the tank and support. Because, of course, the tank... Anyway, you want to know about the kit already. Get on with it. You only have a wooden axe, so you're low damage, but you have 2 splash potions, which are located right next to each other, or kind of like ones on... You'll see the inventory bar when I'm showing it. You have a damage potion, or a potion of harming. Throw it at enemies. This does not affect teammates. Luckily, Minecraft, the game physics, do not allow you to use harming potions. You can't even use them on yourself, too, if you're technically on a team. So if you're playing vanilla Minecraft, still alone, of course you can do it. But if you're playing on like a server with teams, you actually cannot do it. Fun fact. Yeah, don't even worry about hitting. So you can just throw it at a team fight, and it'll only damage them. But you also have a healing potion. That might be more useful in some situations. It's tied to the potion, so aim it carefully. It's not command block based. So you basically have to just throw it at your teammates, and they will be healed. It's not going to do too much healing, but it will do a little bit. Additionally, if you need to heal yourself, you can also have a little drinking potion, which can give you some healing. Only for yourself, though. You can't throw it or anything. And it's a separate cooldown from the rest. The 2 splash potions, they share. This is actually... There's no way I could possibly separate them unless I do some crazy command block work, which would probably use honor system anyway. For most stuff. But basically, you have to watch out for stuff. But basically, the splash potions share a cooldown of 9 seconds. And the drinking potion has a cooldown of 10 seconds. Now, those are all the kits. Use a good team comp. I mean, obviously, you kind of have to use the same 5 kits over and over again, but you'll get used to them, and go get in there, and use your abilities to your advantage. Okay, so, like I said earlier, there will be 2 main modes. The casual mode, and the second one, there will be a competitive mode. Your stats will be tracked. So keep that in mind when you're playing it, which, you should be anyway if you're going to take this game seriously. So, some of you might want to not take this game seriously, and some of you will. So, for those that will, there will be competitive mode. It will not be available right on launch. It will probably not be available for a long time. I will not give any information besides, like, ranks and tiers and stuff like that. All I'm going to give you now is that the rule set, because you'll need it for later. The rules vary slightly. It's still the same idea, but the way it works is different. So, both teams start with a fixed score of, let's say, 1,000. When the game starts, after like the 30-second thing, both teams' scores tick down by 1. So it's like 999, 998, 97, 90, and so on. All the way until 0. But it's not going to be that slow because that would be a tie. When you get the first key checkpoint, the enemy score now reduces by 2. When you get to the second key checkpoint, their score reduces by 3 per second. If you get to the goal, their score reduces by 4 per second, which is crazy. And after you do that, you're only going to be defending. So the round ends when both teams get theirs to the goal, and that's the end of the round. And then round 2 begins with the same scores. After round 1 or 2, there might be like a little bonus, like 50 points to each team, just to keep the game so there's not like a 5-second round or something. Like, I'll make something like that, but for now it'll just be exact same scores. And so yeah, drain the enemy team's score to win. There will be a couple other variations for competitive, but you'll see those later. But that's all I'm really going to say about the competitive mode, but be ready for it, and fight your way up the ranks. Time for a special announcement. Now, I know half of you already know about this already. In fact, most of you probably know about this already, but I'm going to have to say it anyway. So, some of you might have been waiting because I've delayed this twice already. It's been delayed until tomorrow after you're watching this, for about 2 weeks now. On these dates, at these times, they'll be in the description after and on Discord too. It's like they're actually already are on Discord. Just scroll up a little bit, you'll see them in Minecraft chat or the Minecraft news chat. You can come and try out Counter Push. Yeah, that's the name of the game, Counter Push, for free. Just kidding, it's always going to be free. I'm joking. I had to say it though. But basically, yeah, for about 3 hours at each day, you can come and try it out. We'll also occasionally, at some points, we'll be playing a bit of Tunnel Block, and same goes for a little bit later in the week. Which, by the way, I have a small little teaser for that. So yeah. Also, speaking of Tunnel Block will also be getting an update. It'll be version 0.7, and it will probably be the last beta version before the official release. And by release, I mean making it so the game is all ready to play. Not automated yet, but all pretty much ready to play. And yeah, you'll see how that goes later. But this should be the last time, and it adds sound effects into the game too, which I've never been requested to add sounds, but I think it's been something that's going to make the game a lot more, feel a lot better. And it's going to be awesome. Anyway, that is actually all the time I have for today, so I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming and watching this direct, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. So if you have any questions, you can direct message me on Discord or whatever works for you. And I will see you guys all later. Bye, everyone!